My name is Cary Dawn Sanders. I live in Katy, Texas. I'm currently the home care manager for an in-home senior care agency in Sugar Land, Texas. I manage 90 employees. I've been working there for almost 5 years now. I started drinking in high school, and I would say that's where everything kind of started. But I was a nurse, working as a nurse, and when I was about 26, 27 years old, I got addicted to pain medication. I hurt my shoulder playing volleyball, and the doctor that I worked for prescribed Lortabs, and over time I got addicted to them. And over the years, the addiction got worse and worse and worse, and I eventually got addicted to heroin. I was also addicted to meth at one time, and so I really would do any drug that was put before me. It got to a point where I was constantly trying to find more pills and more pills and more pills. And what I started doing is I started going to different doctors and getting different prescriptions. I started calling in my own prescriptions as well. And eventually I got caught doing that, and I got arrested. And I got a charge for forgery and put in jail. And from there, it seemed like it got worse and worse and worse while I went into rehab after rehab after rehab. I was on every antidepressant known to man trying to make myself better. And I eventually lost my nursing license because I couldn't stay clean. During my addiction, I lost who I was. I lost who I was as a person. I lost my identity. And I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I was full of shame and full of guilt, and I hated myself for who I had become. I, one night, cried out to God, and I asked Him to help me. And through a series of events that only God Himself could orchestrate, He led me to Mobile, Alabama, to the Wings of Life. I lived in Texas. I had never been to Alabama. I never thought I would be in Alabama. I did not know anyone in Alabama, but God orchestrated me going there. When I arrived at the Wings of Life, when walking in the door, I instantly felt peace. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I had come to the right place, that God had brought me exactly where He wanted me to be, and things were going to turn around. I was so full of shame and so full of guilt and so full of unforgiveness, especially towards myself, that I had a hard time surrendering. I knew that I was in the right place. I knew that's where I needed to be, but I had to cry out to God, and I had to ask Him to help me. And so while I was at the Wings, I learned so much there. I learned how to replace the lies that I believed about myself with the truth from God's Word. And I also believe the importance of church, which I believe is part of, why I'm successful today. The importance of a body, the importance of accountability, the importance of having relationships with people and not trying to hide everything like I always had and isolate and be by myself. So Wings of Life taught me so much, and also I became the house mother at Wings of Life, and I oversaw at any given time 25 to 30 women. And I believe that was instrumental, and I learned so much there. Patience, perseverance, dying to myself. So then when the time came for me to leave the Wings of Life, God opened up a door for me to get a job. The job I'm in today, the job that on paper I'm probably not qualified for because of my sketchy work history, but God saw fit for me to get this job. He opened the door for me to get this job, and it prepared the way while I was at Wings, being the house mother. Now I manage 90 people, and I feel I can do my job with excellence and be efficient and be a great manager. And part of that reason is just because of what I learned and the knowledge that I acquired, the wisdom from being at Wings of Life. Being at Powerhouse Church over the last 5 years and sitting under the Word that Pastor Robert preaches, I have grown even more since leaving the Wings of Life. And I continue to look at myself on a daily basis, see what I need to grow in, see where I need to tweak things, change things. And I believe that Powerhouse Church, staying connected to the body, being accountable, all those things have launched me into success. While I was in my addiction, I lost so much. I lost my nursing license. I lost my self-respect. I lost full custody of my son. I lost a marriage. I lost a lot. But God has remained faithful to me. February 11, 2012, I went into the Wings of Life, completely a broken woman, full of shame and guilt. I hated myself. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. And today, November 20th, 2021, I'm a woman of peace. I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to my future. But not only that, God has restored everything to me that He said He would. He restores everything the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:25. I've stood on that word since the beginning, and He brought my son back to me. He gave me full custody of my son back about 3 years ago. He's been with us full time. And also in November of last year, my nursing license was reinstated. So I would say that God is a faithful God, and He's awesome and wonderful. And I thank the Wings of Life for receiving me and accepting me when I was so lost and broken. And I'm so looking forward to going back and pouring into other women's lives.